computer all day for work or school, it's important that you take a lot of breaks to get away from the computer and stretch. Since your hands have to be here to use the keyboard, right away we're going to take your hands up behind your head with just a loose grip, kind of cup your skull. And I want you to take your spine through some gentle ranges of motion while you keep breathing. So we're going to start with a little side bend, and I want you to inhale as you stretch to the side, breathing into the open side. Exhale as you come up to vertical. Inhale as you side bend, and exhale up to vertical. As you're bending side to side, try to drive the side bend by pushing your elbow up and allowing your head to fall to follow the spine. And let's just do one more to the other side. And I want you to keep the same grip at your head, and now we're going to flex and extend your spine. So working with your breath again, when you exhale, begin to curl forward and let your elbows sink in slightly. When you come up, you're going to inhale, push into your sit bones, lift your chest and chin. As you curl forward, your elbows sink in and let your shoulder blades spread apart. And I want you to feel them come together again as you open the elbows and lift the chest. Exhale as you curl down. Inhale, imagine growing tall to the ceiling, open those elbows wide. One more time, curling forward, and then back up. Now you're gonna stay vertical and just begin a light rotation, light meaning gentle. I don't want you to put a ton of force or effort into this. Just flow side to side. Let the inhale phase of your breath lift your chest so you stay nice and tall and buoyant as you rotate. Do one more to each side, and then relax. And you can just let your arms swing on down. All right, now we're still gonna use your chair, but now we need to put our hands on the seat of it. So I'm gonna step back from the chair, and I wanna set my feet parallel, about hip width apart, and then I'm gonna place my hands down on the seat of the chair. At the height I am and the height it is, I'm almost not tipped forward enough, so I'm just gonna keep scooting back, and you can see the angle of my arms have changed. I wanna keep my back flat, but hinge forward enough at the hips that I'm getting a stretch through the back of your legs. So if I change, you keep stretching as I talk, but as I change this angle, you can see that I can just push my hips backwards towards my heels if I need more stretch. If you're going like this though, we're actually gonna lose the stretch if your back is rounded, and if you have to bend your knees, you're also gonna lose some of that pull. So get to a place you can sustain and tip your sit bones, kind of rock them up away from your heels. I usually stay here about a minute, so let's assume if you've been doing that along with me, you got there. Leave your hands right here, and now go ahead and bend your knees so you are in sort of a hinged forward squat. And I still want the weight of my hips either above my heels or slightly behind them, and I'm gonna keep my knees flexed so I can do a few cat stretches. On the exhale breath, you're gonna tuck your tail under, flex your spine into a C shape, and hang your head down towards your arms. Stay rounded for a breath in. When you exhale, stick out your tailbone, flatten your back, open your chest, and lift your chin. Inhale to stay there. Exhale, tuck your tail under. Make sure you're staying in that squat with your weight in your heels as you flex. Now as you hold for your inhale, try to put that air into the back of your body. Exhale, stick your tail out, flatten your back, open your chest, lift your chin. Let's do two more, but this time drop your head first. Let your chin fall toward your chest, push the middle of your spine up, and then tuck your tail to complete that flexion. Hold here, breathe in. Now lead with your gaze. I want you to look towards the seat of this chair. Pull your shoulders back and stick your chest out, and then stick your tailbone out last. Last one. Exhale, start to drop your head. Push the spine up between the shoulder blades. Round your low back and tuck the tail. Make sure you're still sitting down into it. Take your breath in. Exhale, lift your head, pull your shoulders back, stick your tailbone out. All right, now you're gonna go to the closest doorway, and we're gonna use the frame of the door to make a chest stretch. So I'm gonna start on one side of it, place my forearms into the frame, and then I'm gonna take one foot and I'm gonna step through the door. By keeping my arms anchored and moving my trunk, like shifting my weight from my back leg to my front leg, I'm gonna get a nice stretch across the chest. And this is great to counterbalance while you're typing or driving in your car. Make sure you're taking deep breaths and really use the breath to get that more expansion across your chest. Make sure you switch legs. And for bonus points, if you want to change the angle of your arms on the second side, put them up a little bit higher, but do the same thing, just step them through the door. You want to keep your head, ribs, and hips in line with each other. So make sure you're not thrusting your head forward to get more range. It's really just about the rib cage coming through the door. Now the last thing I want you to do is take a break for your eyes. Staring at the computer for too long is bad for the eyes themselves, but also definitely for the muscles of your neck. You know, we tend to lean in and hunch forward and put a lot of strain in that region. So if you're able to do a deep squat, you might as well just add an extra exercise, and you're just gonna get down low into that squat. And I want you to stare out the window at anything that's far away. Look off into the horizon, or if you live in the city like I do, just take in details of different things. Stare at buildings, try to stare into a window across the street. Something that just changes how you use the muscles of your eyes. And if the deep squat is not your jam, don't sweat that. Just sit in a chair or stand, but make sure if you're standing, you're in good posture and just checking out what's in your environment. For the times you can't get up from your workstation because you're under a deadline or in the middle of a creative project, it would be a good idea to develop a couple other strategies that you can do right at your desk to help you stay in your body so that you're not disassociating and ignoring signals of tension and pain. So I keep around gum and mint because that stimulates my sense of taste. For my sense of touch, if my hands aren't busy, I can use a worry stone to rub, some is smooth, or I have a hot pack here, which has seeds in it, so I can kind of play with those. Stimulating your sense of smell is great because you can pick an aroma that either calms you down or energizes you if that's appropriate. And so you can have these little like roll-on sticks, or you can surround yourself with flowers and plant babies, which make excellent companions. And then if you need to stimulate your sense of sight, you can hang bright artwork around your workstation, and that gives you another focal point to stare at to give your eyes a break, even a brief break from the computer screen.